Hi, I'm Mateo. I'm that friend of your future self, back again. Welcome to video A13 of the Clever Quick series of strategies for the management of learning. Video A13 covers review and reward, which is the R in clever. This involves looking back over your successes with all the tips and strategies you have encountered so far in Clever Quick. The Clever Quick system is a comprehensive set of strategies to ensure students get a great start on their lifetime of learning. This video is a little different from previous ones, since for most of it you will be thinking back to all parts of the program you have experienced. Checklists will be used. A copy of the checklist can be printed from the appendix. It is also possible to just follow along with an electronic version of the checklists and make notes of any topics you need to revisit. You will need to pause the video as you consider the list of items for each section. Thanks for joining us again today. Abby, Jarvis, Priya, Ethan and Blaise will help us with a few words about rewards and then a review of strategies.
Before we start on the review part, let's talk about benefits that you are receiving. You can think of these as rewards for working on the strategies that help you with your personal learning management. It is important for you to know that there are positive outcomes for all your efforts toward improvement through the Clever Quick system. There will be many positive things that will come your way through improved marks on assignments, tests, and coursework. You will feel good about the positive feedback you receive from teachers, parents, and others. You will have better balance in your life. You will have more time to pursue areas of interest. There will be less stress and anxiety in your day-to-day school existence. An increased variety of programs and opportunities will become available to you. You will have widening choices for what you wish to do as a job or have as a career in life. Generally, these benefits should be more than enough motivation to keep you working at these skills. Beyond those outcomes, some of which will be somewhat distant to your current situation, it may be motivating to build in short-term rewards. They are not absolutely essential, but they can be helpful and fun to maintain commitment on a day-to-day basis. Some thoughts about rewards: they should not generally involve much expense. They should not be offered or received unless an agreed amount of effort or result is achieved. Efforts toward improved habits should be the focus. If you have not done so already, it may be a good idea to ask your parents or caregivers if they would like to be involved in some way in the provision of incentives or bonuses for the efforts you are putting in to learning new strategies. For any one of a variety of reasons, your parents or caregivers may be supportive and offer to assist in providing some of these incentives, or they may decline to be involved. It may be that your parents or caregiver feel that the success that comes with improved efforts and the use of effective strategies is enough of a reward. In any case, accept whatever situation you find yourself in and be positive. If you find that you are on your own with bonuses, you could set up a schedule that rewards yourself with increased time spent on activities you enjoy and that are under your total control. These could involve games or other activities, either alone or with family members or friends. Also, if your personal budget will allow, you could purchase some small inexpensive items that you would be motivated to work towards. In both of those cases, it would be beneficial to gain the support of a supervising individual who could be the person to confirm whether or not you have put the necessary effort into positive change that warrants a reward. If you have a parent or caregiver that would be pleased to participate in a rewards program, some of the following could be suggested. 1. A parent or caregiver may consider committing to take the student to a community or regional event or activity upon the demonstration of a certain level of improvement. 2. Some small items could be purchased that could be made available as earned. Or 3. There could be a fun activity that the parent could participate in with you, perhaps involving other family members as well, upon making some level of improvement. Now, it's time for some review of the clever steps. Abby will start us off.
Hi, Abby here. Now for our review of Clever. See the appendix of Future Loop if you would like to print out a copy of the checklists that will be gone over in this video. A review of these checklists will give you some idea of how you have progressed in using the strategies. Note any thoughts that occur to you as you think about how you are doing with each of the points made. If you are viewing this video and you do not have the ability to print out these lists, don't despair. Take a notepad and keep track of which parts you may need to revisit by referring to an electronic version of the checklist for each section. Note comments and thoughts related to each of the identified strategies, using the large letter, along with the number of the point from the checklist for easy reference later. To start off, consider the 16 items for C, concentration, as covered in videos A3 and A4. Respond to the checklist items in the following way: Y for yes, fully in place, S for somewhat on track, with some room still for improvement, and N for no, not yet. This is something that still needs to be accomplished. If you are not responding on a paper checklist, you will only need to make notes for the items you would respond to with an S or N. Complete your review of the 16 items. If you are in a classroom setting, your teacher may choose to have a brief discussion about what students still need to work on, related to concentration, prior to restarting the video. Restart video after you have completed your response to the concentration items. Pause video.
Hi, Jarvis here for the next section. Now, we have 8 items for L, learning tasks, covered in video A5. Respond to the checklist items in the following way: Y for yes, S for somewhat, and N for no. As mentioned, if you are not responding on a paper checklist, you will only need to make notes for the items you would respond to with an S or N. Complete your review of the 8 items. If you are in a classroom setting, your teacher may choose to have a brief discussion about what students still need to work on related to learning tasks, prior to restarting the video. Restart video after you have completed your response to the learning task items. Pause video.
Priya here, greetings. Now, items for E, end in mind thinking. Don't forget, these 15 items were covered in videos A6, A7 and A8. Respond to the checklist items in the following way: Y for yes, S for somewhat, and N for no. If you are not responding on a paper checklist, you will only need to make notes for the items you would respond to with an S or N. Complete your review of the 15 items. If you are in a classroom setting, your teacher may choose to have a brief discussion about what students still need to work on, related to end in mind thinking, prior to restarting the video. Restart video after you have completed your response to the end in mind thinking items. Pause video.
Hi, Ethan here. Now we have 12 items for V, variety and balance, covered in video A11. Respond to the checklist items in the following way: Y for yes, S for somewhat, and N for no. As mentioned, if you are not responding on a paper checklist, you will only need to make notes for the items you would respond to with an S or N. Complete your review of the 12 items. If you are in a classroom setting, your teacher may choose to have a brief discussion about what students still need to work on, related to variety and balance, prior to restarting the video. Restart video after you have completed your response to the variety and balance items. Pause video.
Now for the 16 items reviewing E, educational setting, covered in video A12. Respond to the checklist items in the following way: Y for yes, S for somewhat, and N for no. As mentioned, if you are not responding on a paper checklist, you will only need to make notes for the items you would respond to with an S or N. Complete your review of the 16 items. If you are in a classroom setting, your teacher may choose to have a brief discussion about what students still need to work on related to educational setting, prior to restarting the video. Restart video after you have completed your response to the educational setting items. Pause video.
Finally, here are the points that were just introduced. There are 6 items for R. Review and reward. Respond to the checklist items in the following way: Y for yes, S for somewhat, and N for no. Answer these as they are now. Plan to have a follow-up discussion with your parents or caregiver, if you are able. As mentioned, If you are not responding on a paper checklist, you will only need to make notes for the items you would respond to with an S or N. Go and complete your review of the 6 items. Restart video after you have completed your response to the review and reward items. Pause video. This has been video A13 in the Clever Quick series, Review and Reward. If you were able to respond on printed checklists, look back over the lists and put a star next to each point marked with an S, and 2 stars next to each point marked with an N. If you took notes while reviewing an electronic version of the checklist, look over your notes now, and put a star next to any items you consider to be an S, and 2 stars next to any that you noted as N. Consider revisiting videos as necessary, or take a look at the text materials for the appropriate sections, in the appendix of Future Loop. Next up, look for video A14, Questioning Your Sources. We look forward to seeing the future you. Thanks for your attention.